Welcome to this week's supply chain update, brought to you by Phoenix International. On August 25th, the U.S. announced potential tariffs on countries with digital service taxes and raised the possibility of duties up to 200% on Chinese rare earth magnets. A new investigation into imported furniture began on August 22nd. On August 21st, the U.S. and EU outlined a framework trade deal including reciprocal tariffs and auto duty reductions. A Section 232 probe into wind turbine components is also underway. Meanwhile, tariffs of 25% on Indian goods took effect August 27th, the $800 de minimis exemption expires August 29th, and steel and aluminum duties were expanded to 407 more products. On the Trans-Pacific eastbound, demand is weak heading into Golden Week and rates remain under pressure. On the Far East westbound, the SCFI fell to $1,668 per TEU as blank sailings and early factory closures push rates lower. On the transatlantic westbound, demand is steady and rates hold around $1,900 to $2,000 per FU. On the Trans-Pacific eastbound, equipment availability has improved but shortages remain for some carriers. On the Far East westbound, destination port congestion continues to cause delays. On the transatlantic westbound, congestion is heavy at Antwerp and southern European hubs, with shortages across Central and Eastern Europe. On the Trans-Pacific eastbound, September capacity is at 80 to 90% of normal with space widely available. On the Far East westbound, blank sailings in early September are set to cut about 10% of capacity. On the transatlantic westbound, capacity is steady but bookings need to be made weeks in advance. In Brazil, Santos is running at up to 77% utilization with 32-hour waits, while Paranagua faces delays of more than 60 hours. In Chile, San Antonio has reopened but still faces delays, while Iquique remains restricted. Mexico's Manzanillo and Lázaro Cárdenas are operating above 70% with moderate delays. In Peru, Callao reports yard utilization over 70% and delays up to 34 hours. A new analysis shows European ports remain congested, with about half of Northern Europe's terminals reporting slower performance in Q2. Asian ports saw mixed efficiency, while North American ports improved despite higher volumes. On August 29, Turkey suspended trade with Israel, blocking Israeli-linked vessels from its ports and restricting Turkish ships from calling at Israeli ports. Aircraft restrictions were also introduced, and shipping agents must confirm vessels are not tied to Israel. And that concludes our update on the global supply chain. Thank you for joining us. We will continue to monitor these developments and keep you informed.